Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And very nice, we've got a 6 of Swords. There's going to be a lot of travel for you in 2024. I think that's my first impression. We're going to put this into some context. I also feel like this is kind of like you're finally accepting some of your own plans, right? I feel like your mind is finally on board with what your heart has been wanting, right? So you're ready to make these moves. You're ready to kind of make these big changes in the new year. And I think that's kind of part of this whole, like, there's going to be a lot of traveling thing. You're kind of following your heart, right? I almost expect there to be a Fool card here somewhere, but let's take a look what else we've got. We got the Lovers, we got the 2 of Wands, we got a 7 of Swords. Yeah, that makes sense. And Ace of Swords. So with 7 of Swords, Ace of Swords, I think we're getting that 6, right? A 3 of Swords, that's interesting. A lot of air energy now right here, especially with this Lovers card. This is the Gemini energy. This is also some air energy. So a lot of air kind of right in the center of things. Now we've got some fire, some water, more fire, and more swords. Yeah, so this is something I think that your mind is finally starting to get on board with, and there's still a lot of doubts. There's still like a lot of concerns going on. This is the only major arcana card we have, is the Lover's card, right? So really the Lover's card to me, it may be about romance for some of you. Yes, this could be us traveling to meet our soulmate, right? This could be us finally being open, finally just kind of convincing the mind that this is what we need to do. It's almost as if you've tried to silence your heart for so long, but now it's just kind of, it's beating so loudly that your mind has no choice but to say, fine, we'll go, you know? Let's select the mystery card and see what's up with this one. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we're just going to set down right over here. We'll put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need, okay? Well, that was unexpected. The power surged in the studio, and I ended up losing my cameras there for a minute, probably because of all of this air energy that we have here interfering with the electricity. But anyway, where were we? We have the mystery card. If you have a prediction for that card, I want you to put that down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Hopefully we'll have no more issues with the power. Let's take a look at the cards again. We know we have this major arcana card. Okay, this is the spiritual energy. This is kind of like, this is now the heart's desire. This is representing this longing for union, this kind of spiritual aspiration. This is at the bottom of everything. This is the root of all of it right now, is this spiritual impulse, this desire, this yearning for connection. It doesn't have to be romantic, right? This is the longing for that spiritual experience, for that union with yourself, with God, Goddess, deity, with your purpose. Right? It could be romantic too. Just saying. Anyway, we have our fire energy. We have a little bit of water. And the water is in the environment, right? The water is what's external to us. The water is in the position of our relationships. So it really is like, it's what we're focused on, but we have all this air energy that's kind of trying to just disagrees with it, right? The heart is yearning for this connection, this love, this union, this sense of destiny, purpose, this meaning. But the mind, the mental energy, the memories, the thoughts, are trying to resist that spiritual water energy, right? So we've got a lot of this air. What we don't have is any earth energy. And I'm hoping that the mystery card will be some earth so that we can see this is all taking practical form, that it's taking shape in the material world and that it is leading to behavior. Because what we've got first is the Two of Wands. This is the impulse. This is kind of like, and this is the impulse. This is the kind of the idea that pops into your head, right? It's just kind of suddenly you feel moved to do this. And it's based on, obviously, the Lover's card and the Two of Cups. But this is the impulse. Now, in order for this to reach the earth, it's got to go through the air and the water, right? The water is not the issue. It has to go through the air, and the air is resisting it. The air is kind of saying, maybe I need to put a check on that behavior. Maybe this impulse doesn't need to be manifested, right? But I think what's going on is that you're making the decision now to silence the mind, to calm your thoughts down, to say, I'm going to follow my heart, even if rationally it doesn't make sense, even if intellectually I don't understand it. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow the Spirit. I'm going to follow my destiny, right? Follow this spiritual feeling. So I think it is a conscious decision. And with the Six of Swords right here, to me this is it is talking about the traveling, the journey. So I think for a lot of you, literally, there's going to be some traveling involved in 2024, right? In the coming year. What the Six of Swords also talks about is the heart and the mind getting along, right? Being a united front. And I think this is what we're really trying to do. We're trying to convince ourselves to follow our heart. Yeah. And when we're talking about fire to earth, we're talking about the idea, the impulse to the implementation, the manifestation, the behavior, right? The realization of the impulse in the external world. We need the heart and the mind to offer the least resistance, right? And that's what the Six of Swords is all about. The heart and the mind are united, and they're not offering that much resistance. They're being good conductors, right? They're being very conducive to the decision that you've made, to this spiritual impulse, this will that you have. Yeah. So what I'm feeling with this, yes, a lot of travel in your future. And I think this is also now, this is us learning how to trust in spirit, trust in our guiding spiritual energy, trusting in God, Goddess, deity, the universe, in our sense of destiny, our purpose, in this deep underlying, well, the Lover's card, this spiritual aspiration that you have. And this, again, this is the longing for union. Okay? This is a card that asks, why do we choose certain things? Right? How do we choose the relationships that we want? And I wonder if you've been mostly kind of doing it in this intellectual way. What seems to be the most logical choice? And that, I think, has been pushing your spiritual essence kind of down beneath the surface, which is what we see with the Five of Swords, right? Five of Swords is all about the spiritual sword, right? The spiritual element is buried underneath the four elements, the earthly realm, the circumstances. And this is a lot of, it's kind of feeling the impulse, right? Feeling the longing, the yearning. And our mind just says, no, maybe tomorrow. Maybe that's not meant for me. Yeah, I want that, but, it's a lot of this negative internal dialogue. So what we do with this card, we just simply flip it upside down. we start putting spirit back on top. We let spirit take the wheel. And we say, yes, I feel drawn toward this energy. I'm going to just explore it, right? I can do it. I will do it. It's learning to speak to ourselves with more reaffirming statements, positive affirmations. And I think for this, what we should do? We don't do it very often. Let's do the language of flowers. These are some affirmation cards that I think will be very appropriate to the reading today, because I feel like it is a lot of this doubt and uncertainty, a lot of mental confusion, this intellectual kind of reasoning. And now we've got the bluebell, gratitude. Be thankful for what is good now. Yeah. And I think this is really appropriate. Be thankful for what is good now. Okay. Now, this seems like it's more appropriate to the Three of Swords, right? Gratitude. Be thankful for what is good now. Because the Three of Swords is one of the reasons, one of the excuses that we've used to not follow our bliss, to not follow our destiny here. This is what we need. One of the excuses that we've used is, well, I've done that in the past and I've been burned, right? The Three of Swords is all about the memory, right? And we think that because we've done something before and it's not turned out so well, that we should never attempt anything similar in the future because it won't turn out so well, right? So we're kind of expecting the worst here. We're almost re-traumatizing ourselves in our own imagination. This is the Three of Swords, understanding the process of creation on the mental plane. What you believe, what you envision, what you live in your head, in your imagination, becomes reality. So if we're dwelling on everything that happened in the past, all the negative stuff, right? This card's in the position of the future. That's what we're going to manifest in the future. So it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So the gratitude, it says, be thankful for what is good now. Don't worry about the future. The future may be good, may be bad. There may be ups and downs. There probably will be a lot of pain and sorrow in the future. This is life. There will be, okay? I can almost guarantee it. That shouldn't take away from our experience of the present. And right now, I think we need to focus on this and don't let these other things influence you, especially the 7. The 7, and see, if we have the 7 plus the 3, what we get is a 10. 10 of Swords is complete ruin. We're never going to do anything else. We're never going to follow any of our kind of spiritual impulses, right? We're kind of sabotaging ourselves. We're stabbing ourselves in the back with both of these together, making that 10 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is us trying to resist, right? Sometimes the Ace of Swords is what we think we know, right? This is maybe the path that you thought was for you. Well, it's different than what your soul is telling you. It's different than what this spirit is telling you. So with the 7 of Swords, we're trying to stay on this straight and narrow path. But you keep getting bombarded with all of these confusing thoughts and feelings and impulses and memories and longings and desires and visions and all of these different things, right? So this 7 of, the keyword for this card is futility. And I think that's very appropriate when you feel this yearning in your heart. It's kind of futile to try to resist it, to try to ignore it, to try to block it out, right? You're trying to stay on this Ace of Swords path, what you believe is your truth, what you believe is meant for you. But there are all these other things telling you otherwise, right? Telling you otherwise. So enough about that. Okay. I think you're making the decision now to take the risk, right? I really wanted a Fool card here somewhere. Maybe the Mystery card. Because I really feel like you have to suspend everything you think you know, everything about the future that you feel like you could predict, everything that you expect to go wrong. We need to stop with that, right? And I think we need to listen to this. And I really think that this is a big change for you. We're going to move to the path of the serpent. As we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Now, we've got this very impulsive Knight of Wands. Fire on fire. Aries energy. Just like this. I think this Two of Wands is really saying, okay, mind, okay, head, I've had just about enough of you, and I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take the action. So we've got this, and it's rather impulsive. This is sometimes the horse just carrying away the rider, right? Usually we don't want this kind of energy, right? It's kind of a backwards day, right? Usually the Ace of Swords is what we really want. The impulsive Knight of Wands is what we don't really want, but today it's backwards. Today we don't need to cling to what we think we know or what we believe is meant for us, because your spirit's telling you something else. There's this nagging feeling underneath everything. And it may even feel like a heaviness, right? And it's this impulse that is struggling to manifest. Sometimes we have to trust in that. Sometimes the rider here has to trust the horse. We want to hold the reins, right? But we trust that instinct. We trust that unconscious. We trust that impulse, okay? And what it is leading you to is connection, love, abundance, union, right? For some of you, yes, this may be romantic. Yeah. For some of you, it's definitely leading you toward a romantic interest. But generally speaking, this is you uniting with your sense of purpose, whatever this yearning is that you feel, right? It's like a bird, and you're trying to keep it caged, but it needs to fly, right? I know that's kind of cliche, kind of corny, right? But it makes sense. It makes sense here. Some of you may even have birds, or you have there's some association with birds here. But the Two of Cups is you uniting with what your soul needs, what it's yearning for, your soul's desires. Okay? Soulmate, true love, your purpose, your destiny. There's no more denying this. Okay? No more denying this. And part of the issue here is with this fire energy, with the Seven of Wands here. This is in the position of the difficulty. And this is here to say that, yeah, it's not going to be an easy ride, but don't let the challenges that you will face give you this feeling of, well, see, I knew I shouldn't have done it. The first obstacle, the first roadblock that you see, don't then just kind of fall back on this air energy and just say, well, I knew I shouldn't have left the house. I knew I should have just stayed in what I was doing. Don't use every challenge as an excuse. Use the challenges that you will inevitably face as a confirmation that you're on the right path. Yeah. The Seven of Wands is all about confidence. We have to have confidence that we can overcome the challenges that we will, without a doubt, we will face, right? And it all really comes down to you using positive affirmations, positive visualizations. See, it's not just about telling yourself, I can, I can, I can, I can. You have to envision it. You have to use your imagination, and I think that's part of this Two of Wands. Instead of envisioning the negative potential, let's start envisioning the positive outcomes. Let's start imagining the outcome that we want, the best possible scenario here, right? And really, it's as simple as the Lovers and the Two of Cups. And it just depends on what this is. For some of you, like I said, this is going to be a soulmate, true love, romance kind of situation. For others, this is going to be more of a spiritual destiny, a sense of purpose or meaning, following your bliss, following your heart, rather than following the kind of what seems to be the most logical, practical choice, right? But now I'd like to look at this mystery card. Whoops. Bob Ross just did a flip. I would like to see this either as the Fool, or as some earth energy. I think earth energy might be a little bit more practical here, showing that, yeah, there are things that we can do to manifest this behavior, this impulse, this will, this decision that we're making, to implement some of these changes, to start living a life where we are following our heart more and more. And this isn't just a one and done, right? This has to be an ongoing thing where we're listening to this spiritual energy coming from within us. Yeah. We're starting to heed the spirit in our lives. So maybe some earth energy or the Fool. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Well, Queen of Pentacles, what could be better than that? Water and earth, right? Manifesting in our lives that water, that kind of that yearning. This is the card that is longing for something, right? And now I feel like this is you manifesting that. This is you understanding that we have to take this water energy and make the decision to give it life, to give it form, to manifest it in our lives. This is the perfect confirmation. Perfect. That we are manifesting this. We are grounding this desire, this spiritual desire energy, giving it form. Now, we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around for that, click either up above, there should be a link up here, or down in the video description, there's a link. New readings for Scorpio every Wednesday and Sunday, but I'm here every day. Just come on back tomorrow and see me again, okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free, doesn't cost you anything. And eventually my voice will get back to normal. I'm fairly certain it will. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.